Welcome back to Brilliant Shadows. We are here with Prude. I figured I should come spend some time with you. It's been a while since we did that, and as long as Heck is out, it'll just be the two of us.
Oh! I took the liberty of raiding his room. He has quite the collection of alcohols.
Heck does?
I am entirely unsure how he came about a chocolate mint liquor, but I feel that donating it to Our Lady's Night would be a noble sacrifice.
It's weird because they act like as if they're as a couple, like in the pairing. You know what I mean? She smiled at Prude. She couldn't help it. Even with everything that happened, just being around her made Ash happy. And yet, that same feeling of joy drove a wedge of ice directly into her heart. She'd never really understood the phrase, so close and yet so far, until now. Let's not let our emotions, let's just be nice and kind.
No food?
Like I forget something as important as that. I brought some hard cheese and bread.
Oh, that's what you consider food? Prude, you got a lot to learn. Prudence produced these from a satchel at her back.
A night with just us would be great.
I thought so. Prude always knows what's best for Ash.
She winked. She found a seat in Ash's bed and produced the bottle as well as a pair of wooden cups.
Look, I'm sorry you're in this situation. I don't want to make light of it. I wish there was more I could do.
It's okay.
It's not enough that your partner seems to have dedicated his life to finding my pair.
I don't think that this is as much about you as you think. I think he doesn't like not understanding the situation. Or at least that's the feeling that I get.
So something happened that he doesn't understand, so he needs to figure, I get it, he wants to be smart. Prude gestured at the spider on her hand. Ash slipped into a black nightgown and joined her on the bed, taking a cup as it was offered.
To our friendship, surviving what I had imagined to be the only thing that could ever tear us apart.
To our...
Ash paused, trying to swallow the lump in her throat. I wonder though, would they still have been friends if Ash's partner had been discovered? Like if they didn't have to go on this journey? Like would they still have been this close?
friendship.
Ash drained the cup and lowered her gaze to find Prude wincing over her own cup.
Whoa! Stronger than I expected.
Prude filled the cups again.
Are you trying to get me drunk?
Well, you're far more accommodating when you're drunk, if you know what I mean.
Ash stifled a sigh.
You mean I'm easier to cheer up?
What else would I mean?
She said it with a wink. Goddess, she really had no clue what she was doing, does she?
Your turn for a toast.
To my best friend, sticking by me in my darkest hour.
That's a nice one. The two drank and Prude was quick to top them off again.
You or me for the next one.
I'll go again.
Ash let a moment of silence hang in the air, gathering her will, her heart beating as much as in her ears as her chest.
To you, whom I love more than I can ever say.
You're sweet. Bottoms up.
Friend zoned. The two drank, and for a moment Ash leaned closer towards Prude. The moment passed.
Okay. No more shots. We should probably slow it down.
Awkward. Still, Prude filled her cups and smiled.
So, what do you think of Hector?
I don't want to say.
She really didn't.
Come on, tell me.
I don't like him. There's something wrong with him, Prude.
Prude sipped her drink.
I don't know. I kind of like that about him.
What?
He's different. But not in the kind of way where he's socially crippled. He's not like anyone I've ever met before.
That's because you haven't met anyone who's truly psychotic before, Prude. Look, I didn't want to say this before, but I think he's responsible for my mark.
What do you mean?
I mean, his research. I think he figured out a way to force a pairing.
No. No.
I think he forced you to pair with him.
Ash, I know the situation is upsetting, but you can't blame him for this.
I do agree, there's not enough information to jump that leap. There's literally not.
Prude, you remember what we swore? We would be together forever. There is nothing I want more than that. I want to be with you. I want us to be together still.
Ash.
Prude, I love you.
Ash, I love you too.
No, Prude,
For a moment, cells hung in the air like a drop of dew, frozen delicately at the end of a blade of grass. Oh! Oh, she did it! She did it, she did it, she did it. Oh, hello. Then the distance between them was gone in a moment, and Ash felt Prude's lips pressed against her own. Her lips tasted like mint and chocolate. Slowly, she pulled away. Prude's eyes were as wide as saucers.
Ash, I'm so sorry.
Please don't tell me that.
No, look, I love you too. There is no one I love more. But I love you as a sister, as my best friend.
Awkward. Ash couldn't find the words.
I don't suppose your concerns over Hector are related to jealousy at all?
No. No, there's something wrong with him. I see it in his eyes.
Prude let out a long sigh. Ash couldn't meet her gaze. A moment later, Ash felt Prude warm against her, hugging her tight.
It's going to be okay, Ash. I won't trust Hector until we can be sure he's worthy of it.
A silence fell, not the sharp, uncomfortable kind, but the warm softness of two people who just needed a friend and comfort.
Though, now this explains a great deal about your love life. So, you like girls?
I don't know. I've been in love with you so long, I can't imagine loving anyone else.
Well, I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Don't be. You can't change how you feel.
No, I mean, for not noticing it earlier. I'm really bad at this.
I'm not much better, or I would have told you earlier. I was just imagining the two of us being paired, and then I would confess. That was going to be the start of our life together.
Another silence fell.
I am now concerned that my hugging you might be sending mixed signals when you might need some space.
It's not like I have anyone else to go to for comfort. I appreciate it. Plus, part of me must have known it wouldn't work out.
Want me to go?
No,
The words came with a deep pain in her chest.
but maybe you should.
I'll leave the drink and the food. Eat if you get hungry, okay? And Ash,
Yes?
I'll always be here for you. Paired or not.
See, Prude, I think, handled that really, really well. Prude squeezed her again, and for a moment the smell of Prude and her wet hair nearly drove Ash to try and kiss her once more. Just to try. She was gone a moment later, leaving a lingering warmth on her skin. Ash drained her cup and pulled her blanket around her. She sat in silence, breathing slow and steady as she held back tears. Ash started awake. Wait, what?
Who?
Ash started awake, cup still in hand, the cheese half eaten but the bread untouched. The bottle was empty.
Who, is it?
The door did not provide a response, instead swinging open to reveal death itself standing within its frame. The cloaked figure strode towards her, extending an arm, sheets of water pouring from it.
I have found something.
What?
I found something.
Hector?
Yes?
Why are you here?
I was out visiting the other nearby villages. I was asking about unfamiliar people spotted in the area. I think that
Why are you here now?
I thought you might want to know.
Ash could feel tears in her eyes. She looks like a little lion.
Should I leave?
Why didn't you leave before? Why couldn't you have left 2 years ago?
I...
If you hadn't been here, she would have been with me. Even if she didn't feel the same way, she wouldn't be leaving me.
Hector just stood in silence, the shadow of his hood hiding his expression. Ash simply cried.
I'm sorry.
The words came so much later, Ash had almost forgotten he was there.
I never intended to take her away from you.
Silence was thick in the air, choking away any further words from either party. Somehow, the way he said it only made her more sure he had done something during the ritual. I don't think so, I really don't. Ash wanted to curl up into herself.
I wish there was more I could offer you. The greatest comfort I might provide you is the stupor of a drunken haze, but I can tell by the empty bottle of my liqueur that I have already provided a degree of assistance on that front.
Prue drinks some too.
Why was she defending herself?
I might assume from your state and
Hector's eyes fell on the spider just below his knuckles.
her own that you finally confessed.
You knew?
I lack empathy, not insight.
Get out.
No,
You can't just say no.
I can. I just did.
Get out of my room now.
How will that help?
You took her.
Hector stood in silence.
Let's assume I did. Let's assume, then, that I, in fact, did it purposefully.
Did you?
What if I say yes? What will you do? We are paired. It cannot be broken now.
Then what is this?
Ash nearly backhanded the man with the phoenix mark.
I don't know.
This is what mark she's supposed.
No.
No.
Hey?
No.
This is what mark she's supposed to have, isn't it? Before you did something to the ritual. No?
No. It is not.
How can you be so sure?
Because I know who you are paired to.
Ash stepped back.
What?
I spent the entire night hunting for your partner. I am quite sure I have deciphered their identity. Are you familiar with the cult of the...
Stop.
What?
I don't want to hear this right now.
Would you prefer sleep, more food, perhaps more drink?
Ash met the gaze of Hector and realized just how entirely unreadable a face he had.
Why?
Please specify.
Why everything?
I choose not to attempt humor, so I will try my best to answer your question as I see it. I am still here because I do not have a home to go to. I was a fortunate orphan in being found to have magic. Here I have stature to a degree. To become a hedge mage after this, I would rather suffer any shame than that. Next, why did you not pair with Prudence, and am I responsible for it? Likely you're simply not as compatible as you thought. I would like to point out that you were in love with her and she does not share the same sexual preferences. As far as your phoenix mark, I am almost entirely sure that is my doing.
How?
Hector shuffled and Ash realized he was still dripping wet. How long had been out during that downpour?
I couldn't deal with another year of shame. I developed a method of pouring more power than normal into the ritual, operating on the theory that one's power is significant in determining one's worthiness towards pairing, which is why I truly have no idea of the exact specifics of the side effects, but one that I was concerned with was that anyone who may be manipulating the light in any way may have been unintentionally drawn into the ritual.
Oh.
Operating on the theory that one's power is significant in determining one's worthiness towards pairing, I infused the ritual with likely several times over its normal amount of energy.
So anyone using light wouldn't have needed extra because there was already extra power from Hector.
Which is why I am concerned that you may have been accidentally paired to a member of the cult of Grey Mages.
No.
The cloaked figure was spotted by others. They travel by foot, like me. I was mistaken for the individual until I removed my hood and showed the healthy glow of my eyes. The individual had a lifeless gray.
Why would I pair to a monster like that? How could I?
I have no answer to the first, but to the second. When they perform the ritual that turns them gray, the mark dissolves. It's the only way I know of to open an individual to a pairing once more. You see, higher...
Wait, when they perform the ritual that turns them grey, the mark dissolves. It's the only way I know of to open an individual to a pairing once more.
No. Please, stop.
The more important question is why one of their number would be here.
Goddess protect me, Hector, shut up.
Hector did.
Did you really think it was appropriate to dump all this on me now? Can't you see the state I'm in?
I don't know. I thought understanding might bring you some comfort. I always find that things are easier to process when you understand them. Why do you think I spent so much time trying to understand the ritual?
Hector stood once more in silence.
As this is not helping, is there anything else I can do to improve your mood?
Pasta and cheese, booze, chocolate. What we pick? I kind of want to do like pasta and cheese so we get like an actual meal, but we had like a proper meal. So maybe sweets. I don't want to go for a drink. Maybe pasta and chocolate, get like a proper meal in our bellies. Ash bit her lip. She knew what she would really help, but did she feel comfortable asking him for it? Her stomach rumbled violently at the thought, and she decided she could stomach it.
Could you bring me pasta and cheese?
Hector stopped to gather himself.
Yes, of course, Ash.
He could not contain a smirk as he retreated to her door. Ash fell back onto her bed. The only sound he made while leaving was dripping water. What if Hector had said was true? Could she have really paired to a grey mage? The thoughts and shivers down her spine. She lay in bed for what seemed like an eternity. Okay, but like, what's a grey mage?
Are you there?
I need your help.
Ash jerked up with a start. Who?
Huh? Who's there?
Silence hung for a moment.
Yeah, sure. How are things?
Things are fine.
I'm fine, I think. Something happened.
Ash looked around, desperately confused. Where were those voices coming from?
Who's the girl?
Were they talking about her?
Girl?
The one connected to you, currently listening in. What? Is this not supposed to be a three-way call?
Spiraling stars!
A distant fuzzy silence fell. Spiraling stars? What kind of curse was that? Ash sat back up in her bed. Had she imagined it? No further voices came as she lay back. Sleep stole consciousness from her long before her mind could grasp any answers.
I am unfamiliar with any sort of long-distance communication magic, even among the...
Wait.
I am unfamiliar with any sort of long-distance communication magic, even among the documentation we have on Grey Mages.
Right, I'm gonna leave it there, guys, because we kind of heard maybe our person who was giant to us. But thank you so much for watching. It's been a complete pleasure. See you guys next week with another installment of Brilliant Shadows.